Pod Leadum.
Top model. All the cycles. Podcast. Fleet. Spelled backwards. Dumb.
Pod Leadum. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pod Leadum. That is Top Model Podcast spelled backwards. I can just feel it giving me life. My name is Hannah Jane Ginsburg, and chicken tartare?
I'm JDB Crump, and I love that you're explaining it.
And I'm Alexander Price, and we come home and this bitch got a Versace jacket.
I knew it. I highlighted that and was like, I bet Alexander picks it. Yes.
We are here today to discuss Cycle 15, Episode 10, Kyle Hagler, even less inspiring than usual, or, as I like to call it, the girl who showed them a crack.
That's good,
That's
Hannah.
pretty good.
Oh, and you know who else is good? Our Anchor.fm sponsors, and y'all are coming in hot and heavy. We got to do 2 again this week. You can't help yourself. You just keep sponsoring at Anchor.fm/podleadum. This is fun for me. Some of y'all know, some of y'all listeners have heard the tidbits of how big of a horror and specifically slasher movie fan I am. And we have a Bree and a Jenny. And Bree and Jenny are very famous characters from Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
All right. Jenny is known as the most famous, iconic final girl of all time. And Bree is in the Friday the 13th reboot and gets one of just the best death scenes. She dies by antlers.
Fun.
Uh-huh. So be just like Bree and Jenny, my scream queens, and go to anchor.fm/podleadum. You got $1.
Previously on Top Model, we are told that some of them rocked a hot photo shoot with a sexy Casanova. Hot was true, sexy was not.
Okay, they've been getting more casual.
And quieter. So quiet.
Well, that wasn't a bad note.
Not mind the cadence of, here's what happened last week on Top Model. Fine.
That's how a person speaks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was the most real person Tyra's ever been, which says to me that Tyra Banks was tired while she was recording this one.
She's crashing
Tyra.
crashing after her sugar rush of judgings.
The girls found out that fancy model digs need to be earned. Did they? Did they find that out?
I think they learned that the high fashion cycle had a budget that they had to contend with at some point. I liked seeing the extended Anne's sad petting of Chris at the end.
Well, you had just brought up, JW, that we hadn't gotten them listing the names of the girls yet, which is finally we get there this episode. The fact that they chose to do it when they're all pale and sweaty in their junky knitwear, totally miserable. And then we get not one, but 2 shots of Chris needing to be comforted. Now, this is what you chose?
And I just love that Anne's sad petting because Anne doesn't have arms because of her outfit. So it's just this, it looks like Cousin It petting Chris.
Why does this food truck get so much B footage?
Okay, I was literally just saying the B-roll of this man not having it in front of this food cart.
Secret sponsor.
Verde Trailer food truck?
That's what the green is. It's green food. It's salads.
Ah.
Y'all, is this our most hilarious incident of digital art?
Especially since Kayla calls it out.
So they walk back in, and Kayla goes, "Oh, they cropped everyone else out. Hilarious."
Except for Casanova!
And then the fact that one of her quotes is, "Star of the photo."
And power in an, Arabian font.
Oh, yeah. It brought me back to that Cycle 5 weird movie poster.
Oh,
font
yeah.
That they used.
Mm-hmm.
We get Top Model Math to end all Top Model Math. It was almost my opening quote, but I want us to have a bigger deep dive into it.
Yes, please.
Chris is sitting to a very disinterested Kayla. And as we'll
it
find...
struck me newly hilariously that they were given a kitchen table that only 2 people can sit at.
Yep.
Only 2 of you get to eat at a time.
And as we'll learn, Kayla's done talking to everybody. But Chris goes, we only got 5 people. They must get rid of, if they get rid of 2 now, then it's just 3. And 9 times out of 10, they get rid of 2. They may get rid of 2 tomorrow. And I literally sat there and I was like, wait, what?
The 9 times out of 10 was when I started howling.
Because that's not true. Also, they've never done 5 to 3. That actually would have been an interesting idea.
Oh, yeah.
We discover that Jane's family is super invested in watching the show in real time.
Jane's mom is Professor Layton of the Nintendo series Professor Layton. She's like, oh, we saw on Tyra's Facebook. We know where you are.
Oh, I love when she says that they saw the roller skating thingy.
They guessed that she's in Italy.
It
And
was
Jane's
so
like, where do you
good.
think we are? I can't say it because of an NDA. And she's like, Italy.
I'm
And
shocked they
James
left
can't
it in.
respond, so she's like,
Because it also shows that Tyra is leaking info on her Facebook.
This is so funny. There was also something so real about seeing a central AC unit in this apartment, and I don't know why that was. It just struck me as like, wow, model basics.
Also, they are stitching together these Jane talking heads.
The bangs come forward.
Yep.
They go behind the ears, the side part, middle part, every part is now
There's a very
on Jane's head.
specific mood where she's like a little hunched forward and it's aggressively middle parted and she's like doing the Chelsea look up.
Mm-hmm.
Tyra Posta.
Why was prepare in English?
It killed me. Prepare to. We could not say it
Fare
in
una
Italian.
buena impressione.
It's like when you use Google Translate and it just doesn't translate one word. Sometimes you're like,
My opening quote backup was, impression who?
I love that the picture of Tyra with recent winner Krista just looks like a poster on the wall.
Just
Couldn't
lurking.
even be bothered to frame it.
You know what I realized too? We haven't talked about any of the Krista photos in this model apartment. Not once have we referenced it.
I think it's so funny that Tyra put on her most newsy cap to get
And
behind
her-
this desk
and
like she
her-
is Peter Parker's boss.
And her widest suspenders. Those suspenders are like 3 inches thick.
Okay, we can get into this, but I will not let a new top model class subject get erased. And that is top model geography. Because Chris says she does not know where they're going and yet knows all the cardinal directions.
So they walk in.
To wherever?
This sign was taped to the wall.
It is so heavily ADR'd that I didn't recognize Tyra's voice. What was she saying to that? What was Newsy Tyra selling?
She was singing a song.
Extra, extra.
And we'll get into it. This is when Tyra decided that Chris was going to be eliminated. And we will get into it. Now, this starts something that I cannot believe they really haven't talked about. Was had some real information in it, and had Tyra's most real anecdote ever.
15 cycles it took to get here.
To talk about it at all. To act like a portfolio wasn't just magically dropped in your lap and you could never change it ever.
And to also show that those bonus pictures you could win as part of a prize matter.
Yeah, it also seemed like there were a couple pictures from photo shoots that like they got a selection of 3 and then they were given the bad photo.
To me, it seemed like they got a selection from the group photo.
Ooh.
That maybe they got a few to choose from for their, white tank top photo shoot.
Yeah, their fade out one.
Mm-hmm.
There's always, every so often they get leaked too, and you can see them on some websites. There's always multiple ones of those makeover shots. Famously, the ones from Cycle 10 got completely revamped because the ones that they leaked were really bad. and like hadn't had any post done on them. And then you got the revamped ones. And hilariously, Whitney's was the only one that was worse.
Good.
But yeah, Tyra's going to show them how to actually put together a portfolio like she says her agents used to do way back when. Yep, her mama and her LA team, it sounds like.
Although she can't help herself, because after specifically saying that this story happened in LA, where she tells a really fun, sort of charming anecdote about how she was a dumb teen who would re-put all of her photos back in her portfolio after the professionals removed them. When she does her agents, she gives them an Italian accent. Even though the story takes place, she specifies, in LA.
Yeah. Also, we learn the mythos is unraveling because we learn Tyra was not editorial.
But I love this anecdote because this sounds so real to me, because the Tyra that we know would do this.
Yes.
Oh, yes, for sure. And that it shows Tyra not being good at it, which I kind of love, because you see hints of it.
Yeah, it's humble in a way that she just can never achieve. And we learn my new favorite word, the gatefold.
And how you need to be looking at it or walking away from it.
Your pictures should kiss when they close. Just mwah.
But then when she does Chelsea's, they aren't.
I thought the same thing. I was like, we just learned this. And then they do an improvised skit where the girls get to choose who they're going to be on the judging panel. And Chris makes the mistake of a lifetime.
So spot on.
And yet not well received, because Chelsea was smart, picked Andre, and knew all I have to say is directitude. Nigel, no impression happens. And then Chris, for Tyra, says, I see lust and I see jazz and holla, holla, holla. And Tyra's dulled expression at that.
It was a perfect impression, too.
I love so I see jazz.
That was my favorite. Then we definitely walk across the hallway and not to a new building and meet Giovanni de Corinto and Andrea Cairo. And let me tell you something, we do not spell Giovanni's name correct at any point. That's really not how his name is spelled. Nope. There's 2 N's and 1 R. And they flip it and reverse it.
Pop it, lock it, flip it, and reverse it. I love it.
They managed to cram so much offense into the 7.5 minutes of screen time that these men get. They insist on giving them subtitles when they are perfectly understandable.
So understandable.
Yeah. Tyra decides now is the time to do a fake Italian accent, standing next to the actual Italian people.
Maybe they were so petite, if she didn't speak loudly and in Italian, they couldn't hear her.
And then when she does that accent, she does it so she can inform the girls that when they say go and see, they mean go see, which we already knew from watching the show, because it doesn't just happen in Italy.
No.
Also, I'm going to say this. I feel like even if we hadn't seen the show, you could put together your context clues.
We are also shown a map in a way we have never been shown before.
This geolocator map.
That is missing one of them.
This is incredible. It just gets better throughout the go-sees.
The graphics department had a lot of fun this episode.
Uh-huh.
They did.
We learn that the parameters are that they can take the metro, the bus, or walk to all of these go-sees, which seems impossible to get done in what we learn that they have is 4 hours.
Yes.
And these are
even
not
just looking
close
at
to
this,
each other.
Just looking at this map. Yeah, it is. Speaking of north, south, east, west, there's like a cardinal location for each point.
Yeah.
And also, never before has there been an instant power ranking to the one that everyone's interested in doing, and the rest Gilligan's Island style.
Well, I will say that's because of the way they present it. Because photographer Giovanni that we refer to is actually Giovanni Gastel, who is a big fucking deal. And they make it seem like he's just some creep with a camera by giving him that title.
Mm-hmm.
And innovative photography, Also, Global Casting Danilo.
Mm-hmm. Which
You're
we
not
do
gonna
see.
Yes. On their website, they have a Where We Are page, and we learned that the studio is easily accessible by underground and gives the 2 stations we can use.
I'm sure it's a company, but when I first read innovative photography, I thought that was like a categorization because everything felt like it had a different category on the map.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's innovative photography mean? Is that we're going to drown you in water photography? I don't want to go to that one. But then they can go to Versace,
which is near IMG.
Yeah, by far the closest one to their starting point, it seems like.
And look, I would go there first too, sure.
But then Chelsea says, because it's Chelsea, well, I've been on a million castings, so I'm going to be great.
If you choose to drink while watching Top Model, and you really don't feel like getting out of bed the next day, take a drink every time Chelsea refers to having gone on a go-see or a casting before.
Yeah.
Because you will not want to live again the next day.
Chelsea's new narrative is she was the first person who's ever modeled. She's been modeling since she was an embryo, and she will continue to model long after the rest of these women are dust in the ground again.
Chris and Jane decide to pair up, and Chelsea and Kayla decide to pair up, and Anne is going to lurk behind them.
This is so funny. And Kayla's talking head, where she says, Chelsea and I decided to team up, and I don't know what Anne was doing.
But in Anne's talking heads, it makes it seem like, I don't know if that was what happened. I think they held a group discussion, and she just picked a group to go with.
Yeah, I think Chris and Jane left, and the other 2 stood there talking about it.
I don't know. If I were them, I could see a world, and I would do the same thing, where you'd be like, okay, we're going to pair, and we're going to pair up so we don't get lost, and Anne's so far ahead in this competition, let her suffer.
Yeah. She's already going to be the worst.
Yeah. And spoiler,
although, as we see,
she basically gets second place, if not sort of first.
The show tries to sell us, and we're going to get to it, but I'm just going to preview it. The show tries to sell us so hard on the idea that Anne in person is unbookable, which turns out to be hilarious.
They are trying so hard to make a big point that personality matters, because I think they're worried that they've talked about that for 14 cycles.
Yeah.
And it's actually not mattered this cycle at all.
Nope.
And it's going to continue not to actually matter. And it's so funny that the show can't even escape its own faulty logic
At all.
Well, and Chelsea is going to get a lot of praise for her commitment to the craft of fashion and wanting to be a fashion person. And look, I'm not saying that Anne would necessarily be a barrel of laughs, although when we see her hang out one-on-one with people, she actually seems pretty fun.
Yeah.
But if I had to hang out with Anne or Chelsea, I'd pick Anne.
We're very different people. I would choose Chelsea every time because I could leave Chelsea.
Anne's that person that's just like, where are we going next? And you're like, oh, I'm thinking about heading home. Oh, we're heading to your house?
Yeah, 100. I've got my cat and my bacon sandwich ready to go.
I need to point out that while we are wandering around looking for Versace, Kayla asks if they should get an Underground Railroad brochure. The Underground Railroad.
Which is hilarious because she also says, I lived in Chicago for 2 years. I know how to take a subway.
She knows the word.
And it's also just a subway metro. Like, it's not like it even looks different than anything else. It's not like it looks like a traditional train or something.
Jane has aggressively asking locals for directions down to a science.
Yeah. Yep.
So she and Chris are lucky enough, as she says, to stumble across Versace.
They really do.
They find the cafe that is across the street. That's how they get there.
And right before we talk about the multiple part Versace adventure, because this is the only place we're really gonna see, there was something so weird about the Tyron 3 3/4 hours remaining. I don't know why, but a fraction's a weird thing in this font. The font didn't have a good selection of fractions.
I think the show is trying to make it seem like they have more time than they do.
Yes. Conspiracy theory. We're using fractions to make it confusing of how long things took.
Agree. Very much.
Because Chris and Jane stumble into Versace.
Literally.
And they meet Angelo Atsena.
The most casually devastating person you'd ever want to meet.
What I found very rude, though, was the editing of this. Because they walk in and they make it seem like Chris was silent and that was her fault. And then we see Jane do exactly the same thing with jaunty music this time.
Yeah, Chris asks a good first question and then politely sits there while he hurriedly flips through. And I didn't remember this at all, so I was like, is that it? Was the ghost?
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, wow, okay.
And part of me believed that because, like, of course, yeah.
And it's really funny that the show tries to make Chris look like the rudest, most uncouth human in the world, when in 7 minutes we're going to see IMG praise her for asking this question.
Mm-hmm.
Also, fun thing about Angelo Atsena. In a book about Versace, about Claudia Schiffer, he said, despite the best efforts of Versace's team, they couldn't break Schiffer of her awkward lope. We used to have to put Claudia in flat shoes because she didn't know how to walk. She was an ugly duckling. She would get to the end of the runway, make her turn, and I was like, where am I? But Gianni didn't care. She was on the cover of American Vogue.
Wow. That is, again, casually devastating. Just like he is a consistent human being. I wish these geolocator maps showed where the models currently are. I wish it was like beep, 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 beep.
In past seasons, it would have.
Yeah. And we got such good bobbleheads this cycle.
Group 2 is taking forever to stumble upon Versace. And it takes seemingly 40 minutes to get 3 blocks.
It really makes me long for the days. You know what? I'm going to give it up. Cycle 1, Robin, hire a stranger.
To just
are they just not getting enough money anymore? Do they just not have like $50 to give someone to take them around?
Not everyone can be rich like Robin, Hannah.
True. Rich in the Lord.
Yeah.
I think they truly just have figured out all the tricks. And so now, because also done are the days, because you know, Kizzy in that cycle just bought moisturizer or whatever. Like, they just used to have mad money to spend.
And then we learn, after Group 1 does indeed do a runway walk.
Past what seems like both a room full of junior designers and a retail space?
It's for sure a retail space.
It felt retail-y. Yeah.
But we learned that they were there for an hour.
Yeah.
Which is so long.
So long.
Did he just look at their book and then go back to work and made them wait to put on clothes?
What I think happened, truly, is I think he waited until the other 3 had arrived.
Oh my God.
And then did this all at once. And we just divided them up so that it didn't look like that. Because that would make the timing work out.
Like he was like, well, I don't have time to do this on their
schedule.
We'll
wait till the other 3 get here.
Yeah. I'm only leaving my office once today.
Yeah. So Jane is fresh, but needs to work on her walk.
It's not very good.
And Chris doesn't have the right fit and looks like a model from the 80s.
That seemed coded in a weird way.
Chelsea has nice feet.
I think he says fit, but it did sound like feet.
I think fit too, because he says the word fit a lot.
Her look is a little bit 2 seasons ago. Ooh. Yeah.
Devastating.
They just gave her this makeover.
If Chelsea had heard that, she would have melted.
Yes.
She would have cut her hair immediately into Kayla's haircut.
Filled in that gap.
Kayla, maybe for editorial, but not for a runway show, which is thus far his most positive comment.
Yeah.
And then Anne, even though she has a bad walk, has a perfect body, and he would book her for print and shows.
Why would you book her for shows?
Because it's Anne.
Tall.
And Chelsea said, y'all can rot to Kayla and Anne and leaves.
Kayla should not be surprised.
But this is when the graphics team really gets going because they pull back from the map to make the city seem even bigger. And then when Chelsea talks about how the street signs are just plaques on buildings, they do a little pile.
That's not complicated, right? That's not complicated to put a street sign on a building.
Once you know where they are.
Yeah.
I get how when you would first see that, you'd be like, oh, that's like the name of the building or something. Like, it would definitely take you a while. But the fact that Chelsea was able to verbalize what the difference was means she shouldn't have been able to figure out. But it doesn't matter because Jane and Chris find a map and they act like the Lord Jesus Christ appeared in front of them. And I was like, didn't you already sort of have a map?
No, they didn't pick it up. That's why, remember in last episode where Jane was like, let's get pamphlets? They didn't do that in Milan. They only did it in Venice.
Y'all, what did Kayla do?
What did Kayla do?
This speaks to me of blind panic, but she says it in the most calm and serene way that it's hard to figure out what happened because Kayla's like, I've lived in a major metropolitan area. I know what a subway is. Confidently walks onto the subway and then for some reason gets off. One stop later, goes up to the street instead of looking at the map for the metro that's right there, makes a big old circle, and winds up back at Versace. How?
We literally get the same camera angle of her back walking to Versace.
The camera crew did not have enough time to reset. They were like tearing it down, and Kayla walks around the corner.
And this is the first Top Model episode we can go, meanwhile, because meanwhile, Jane and Chris is like, one's enough.
We went to the important one.
I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna get back there 2 hours early.
And then they say they can't say we didn't try. Poor stupid Chris. Just wait.
But Chris makes Top Model trailers for the rest of the show's life because she says the phrase, I want to be on top and this is what I get. What's going to happen next time on America's Next Top Model?
She also manages to injure her foot taking a step, which I believe we've all done, but it's still a huge bummer.
Yeah. And lacrosse player Jane was not here to give her any sympathy about that. She's like, shake it off, toots.
To give them the littlest bit of credit, though, if you went to one go-see and it took an hour and you only had an hour and a half left, you probably wouldn't go to another go-see.
No, especially knowing that they're all way further afield.
Yeah.
But Chelsea does manage to successfully take a train and go to Global Video and meet Danilo Di Pasquale.
In the creepiest looking space.
Yeah, what was that space? I can't call it an office.
Yeah, they're like, she goes over to one table and they're like, no. The other fold-out table on the other side of this empty room.
Oh, I loved Buff Bro in the polo is like there.
This is the thing, because Italians have zero time for anyone else. They're like, I don't know who you are. Go ask someone else.
I also think they set this up outside of their actual casting room, which is probably active.
Yes.
So that they could do
it had big foyer energy.
It had real audition monitor energy.
Proctor.
Yeah.
Is there a list that I can put my name on? Is there an unofficial list? Is there an official list?
This is what saves Chelsea.
So the first group arrives back at 5:52 for a deadline of 6:30. And then we get my favorite moment of this episode.
Oh my God.
Of Anne.
Yes.
Sadly sitting at a fountain. And this is because one of my dogs, listeners, when we lived in LA, when she would get out of the backyard and wander away, you would call her name, and instead of coming, she would just sit down wherever she was. So you'd be like, Greta, and she just get lower and lower as you called her. It might have been in the middle of the street. It might have been at a fountain. It didn't matter. You called her name. She's going to sit sadly. And that is Anne.
What a great trick.
Yeah, right? Real useful.
Sadly.
Yeah, Anne just kind of peters out.
And you know what else does? Her hair.
Well, I would say her hair explodes. As Anne shrinks into sadness, her hair expands into the ether.
I can't talk about, like...
This is our most controversial issue we have to address, and it's Anne's hair.
There is so much to talk about in this episode. This will start us on, at least me, a journey with Anne and her hair this episode.
And later Jane just says, Chris, we didn't lose. And I'm like, that's a sportster right there.
Chelsea arrives back at 6:25. I almost feel like she got there at 6:20 and was like, I'm going to make it seem even closer.
Power move.
Yeah,
I
believe that. I believe it.
Mm-hmm. Just take a very slow walk through the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
This elevator seems kind of full. I'll wait for the next elevator.
Completely redo your makeup before you see everybody else. Wow, you guys sweat? Weird.
Weird.
How rustic.
Well, we killed JW.
Ooh, my lung went into my throat from laughter.
Anne arrives at 6:51.
Which is not that late.
It's not.
Also, was there an issue with Anne's watch? Because she looks at it like it said 6:30 still and compares it to the clock and is distressed.
Yeah. And Kayla arrives at 7:16.
Pretty late.
For not doing anything.
Also, Kayla has just been having cash convos with her production crew. Just like, I don't know where I am. Do you?
These poor, very sweet-seeming Italian men are just like, I guess one of you has to win. Who are you again?
But also no one is sent out of the room like normal.
Well, because
we still need to praise Anne.
But, exactly. Also, everyone just failed.
Yes.
They should just kind of send everyone out of the room.
Yes.
They're probably like, we have to give a jacket to one of them?
That currently retails at over $3,500.
That was a nice jacket.
Wow. You can tell it's real and not a knockoff. Chelsea wins. By the way, Chris's entire critique was positive, but little like, wow, Chris, you ask a question? Chris!
Why would you ask a
it.
question?
You went and saw, Chris. It's so patronizing.
Welcome to our ugly home.
Reddit is back for a historically hideous season.
It's our 100th ugly house. This place is mayhem. That is impressive.
And if these walls could talk,
Do you cry a lot?
I do.
they'd have a lot to say.
What in God's name is this pit?
Don't get too close.
No, if you see the show, I'm scared of that.
Ugliest House in America season premiere Wednesday at 8 on HGTV.
I had that dream again. My small business needs to hire, but I don't use LinkedIn, and I hire an energy vampire. But also, they're a literal vampire. And suddenly, my team is spending all their time sharpening wooden stakes and buying bulk silver and rehearsing ancient chants, and then I wake up.
Don't let hiring nightmares ruin your dreams. LinkedIn Jobs' new AI assistant takes insights from over 1 billion professionals to create a short list of the best fits for you. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/quality. Start hiring today with LinkedIn.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Visit Blinds.com now for up to 45% off site-wide and free professional installation. Rules and restrictions apply.
So back at the house, they find Chelsea's jacket, which, as JW said, Kayla thinks is surprised that it's real.
Oh, that you can tell it is. And I'm like, you can tell it is, Kayla, because it is.
They sent it from that one place the only place you were at.
Kayla, you might have brought this box back for all we know.
And then they get...
Oh my God.
Speaking of Kayla.
Well, Kayla takes a nonsensical thing and takes away the tiny little bit of sense that was there. Because the Tyraposta says, soon I'm going to make you look marvelous.
Ooh.
Which, ouch. But Kayla pronounces it marbulous.
She also says it completely leans forward in disbelief as if she thinks the show made a mistake, even though every other contestant is like, yeah, we're going to be like marble statues, Kayla.
Marbulous. New X-Men?
Ooh. Ms. Marvelous. Kayla's also just loopy now, because when we travel the place that we're going to, Kayla goes, what is that? A house?
Yeah, she doesn't believe anything's real anymore. When she got off on that one stop and ended up in the same place, she doesn't know up from down, left to right, east, west, north, south. She's the one that doesn't know geography.
It's true, though. It's like her brain reset.
Then we see Mr. J and Nigel pretending to talk and looking at nothing on a monitor.
Nigel is overgrown. He needs to take that hair down. It is at a strange length that is doing him no favors.
Mm-hmm. We also not only see Nigel and Mr. J, but we see so many close-ups of Chris's feet.
Dangling.
Yeah. So we are at...
She does have cute shoes, though. It's like kind of her nicest shoes, which is at least that. I wonder if Chris was like, oh, great, all these feet shots of me.
We arrive at Villa Erba at Lake Como, which is about an hour away from Milan with no traffic. An interesting fact about this estate, number one, the inside is stunning, but it also was the summer home of Italian director Luchino Visconti, who was an openly homosexual director that did, his most famous movie was probably Death in Venice. So we're going to get there's a lot of openly homosexual people referenced in this episode that we don't talk about them being gay. Like Gianni Versace.
Nigel uses a word incorrectly.
Yep.
But one that sounds correct when he says that the estate is studded with statues. And my brain was like, yeah. And then I looked it up. Nope. Studded only means decorated with studs.
Then we say every word to describe this shoot without saying the inspiration word, which is Pygmalion, which is also Greek and not Italian.
Well, I think that's why they were basically trying to
I guess, but that's what this is.
The statues will be coming alive by the love of the sculptor, who will, of course, be another male model.
Kayla doubles over. Kayla is being bullied into being with male models via immersion therapy.
She literally says again.
This is the number one thing that I didn't remember about this cycle, was their insistence on constantly making them pose with a man. There is no reason that you couldn't be a statue coming to life on your own.
New theory, this is actually a side competition dating show for Mr. J a la Next. And he's just nexting the male models.
Here's a theory, though. This is the last remaining male model. Is this the winner of our shadow cycle?
Well, Simone
Did Shaw get defeated somehow?
Simone Brodariol is a working model who is currently working. He has 275,000 followers on Instagram. He's had covers in various countries of Men's Health, GQ, Harper's Bazaar. He is booked and blessed.
He's probably one of the most prolific extra models we've ever gotten.
Yeah. We also meet Nigel's.
Oh, you guys.
We also meet Nigel's nemesis, Vincenzo Cavici, who gives very sweaty vampire vibes.
Why is Nigel so rude to this man?
Nigel's rude to kind of everyone this shoot.
He speaks down to him like he's a toddler.
Yeah.
And also, when you look at the amount of makeup and hair that had to be done to these women, the fact that Nigel was giving him shit for it taking an hour is crazy. Yeah, it's going to take an hour. You want their bodies fully painted.
I do think it's funny that this is almost literally something they did for one of the stupidest challenges in Cycle 5 ever, and now
Yes.
it's a high fashion photo shoot.
And not only that, but Anne says, we already did this photo shoot on the beach as angels.
Well, when she compares it, though, she says it's like the angel one because they're both artistic. And I'm like, well.
No, it's like that because it's the same idea.
Yeah.
But you know what, y'all? You know who's been having too good of a time in Italy? Jane. Let's get together and break her.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jane, says J. Manuel. You're in a relationship, right? No, she says. And you know what? It kind of shows.
I want to start going up to strangers and doing that, though. Hey, you're in a relationship? No? It seems like it.
So they pick at her for the entire shoot until she cries. And then they say, you're welcome. We gave you life and breathed humanity into you. Finally, Jane.
Let's say what the actual sentences were in order for part of this monstrosity. This is a Mel Fragrance ad. This isn't even about you anymore. What's got you upset? That is how the show edits Mr. J talking to Jane.
And then has him say, this is the first time in the whole competition that I've truly seen a genuine emotion out of him.
Also, I'm going to say, fuck them both. She looked like a statue, which was apparently what they were supposed to do.
I actually like Jane's whole, I've been told I'm really stiff, so it'll probably make this statue thing easy.
Well, it also maybe Jane sums up a lot of what we've talked about with regards to how Top Model treats personality. And this little monologue, I'm not sure it all happened all together. It might have been a little cobbled together.
Yeah.
But it's really frustrating to keep hearing that I don't have a personality. I feel like I'm going through a little bit of an identity crisis. I really want to take criticism in a positive way, but I feel like I'm blowing it on this shoot. You keep telling... I was pretty sure I had a personality. I have likes and dislikes, and I make jokes on set, but you keep telling me I don't, and now I guess I don't?
Yeah, she's being fully gaslit in real time, and we're seeing it.
But everyone on this show always is about personality.
Yes.
Also, it's a little thing, but I think it speaks how shitty this set is. When they have to walk from the makeup tent to the set, they
all
don't
over
get
loose gravel.
They don't get shoes.
Not even flip-flops.
There is no reason that you couldn't be wearing a pair of flip-flops to walk over loose, pointy gravel.
Ask them if they want to just wear their own shoes and get them clean later. If you have nothing else.
It made me so angry.
Mm-hmm.
It should.
Because there's no reason. Or if you don't want, because you worry about the makeup, put a fucking carpet down to get to set.
Also, you can't have someone stand there with a sponge and gray paint and just go over the tops of their feet.
Right?
Seriously. But also, I'm sorry. Back on Jane crying. Imagine crying in this makeup. I bet that got all up in her eyes.
We will see later once they're back at the house, but this makeup was not skin friendly.
No, it was not.
There are some harsh reactions to this makeup.
When Chelsea...
Go. We're going to talk about the same thing.
When Chelsea is on set, as opposed to when Jane was on set, she gets to look at Nigel, and it's a good thing, because she would look towards the camera, and Nigel said, don't look at me. Don't look at Nigel. And Chelsea, it's like, ooh, yeah, fuck, sexy, ooh. And then he says to the male model, kiss her. He tells the model to kiss her, which is not part of the shoot.
No, Nigel, several times over the course of his working day, makes things less safe.
Mm-hmm.
But Chelsea wants it more than anybody here, and she thinks she deserves it more.
Then we get something that I forgot happened, but we get this picture, this GIF so much. Kayla and Chris are playing with grapes. And
I
somehow,
love Kayla saying that she's always dreamed of this.
Yes, this is what she's always dreamed of. Something she can accomplish at home with her girlfriend or a friend, anyone.
It was funny, though.
It was funny, but it was just her being like, my dream, to feed someone grapes.
And then we cut unexpectedly back to Chris, who has perfectly placed all those green grapes in her mouth to look like teeth. And if she is making such a funny face, it does one a giant blink, and it is so funny.
When Anne comes up, Mr. J says the phrase, "Mama is getting her itch scratched."
Ugh.
I cringed. My entire body.
That's what Jay Manuel thinks heterosex is.
It's
Scratchy,
just
scratchy.
he thinks the female sexual experience is a real itchy spot that just needs to be scratched a little bit.
And gets her own techno beat doing well music. Because who's back? Anne's back, baby.
Anne quietly does a good job with very little input, so Nigel's pissed.
Yep. When Kayla gets on set, Mr. J threatens her with physical violence.
There's a funny moment that is legitimately funny to me, despite the fact that it comes from kind of a sad narrative where Kayla's going, professionally, I need to be able to interact with men. And then they cut to her shaking the hand of the male model and getting paint all over him. And that was so funny to me.
But I'm going to say something controversially at Brave about getting paint on this model. Shouldn't we have put a little bit of paint or something on this model if he's supposed to be the sculptor? Wouldn't that have made sense? So he's not some dude who found a statue he wants to fuck?
I'm actually just surprised he doesn't get like a prop.
It's nothing. No tools
Well, then he
or
can't
nothing.
put his hand flatly against their chests the way that people do. Kayla really goes for it, though. When her shoot wraps up, she is fully crouched on the banister like a gargoyle.
I loved that so much.
I did too. I'm really sad we didn't actually see it in photos.
Chris's problem is she's injured, and she should have to work through it. So I know, let's make her stand on the gravel.
They really try to make Chris seem like she doesn't want this, when instead she just wants to be a model. She's just ready to model.
Well, she does say she's tired of the process. And what she means is she's tired of being on top model.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The
so she's like,
sin.
yeah. And I was like, as soon as she said that, I had kind of flashbacks to Talia, where I'm like, oh, you said that out loud. That is a death knell in the background noise happening.
She starts out doing well, then
They
starts
tell
to
her
feel
that.
tired and be in more pain. And Nigel comes up to speak to her, and she brings up a practical concern about aggravating an injury that she has. And he responds, embrace the pain and let it feel like the first pain you've ever felt.
Like she was brought to life and immediately is like, kill me!
It hurts!
I want to go back!
I didn't know it would hurt this
Make
much!
me unfeeling stone again!
I wish that's what she had done.
Is this what gravel feels like?
Now, Nigel's real bad this episode. That being said, when he walked up, I wrote the note. Oh no, Nigel, in this backwards cap and sweaty t-shirt is making me feel things, and I am not happy about that.
Not proud. It wasn't your proudest moment.
No.
We don't get to choose these things.
We don't get to choose our family. So stupid.
We get one of the weirdest pre-panel videos because it sent me into a research spiral.
Is there chicken tartare? Because that seems like a very bad idea.
Well, let me explain. So Nigel turns to Kyle Hagler and says, they do a chicken tartare, which I was like, that doesn't sound Italian, because it's not.
It also sounds like eating raw chicken, which is not something you're supposed to do.
Okay, so this sent me, like I said, sent me into a research spiral. It does exist in the world, but it's not specifically Italian or Milanese. There is a Japanese dish called ippuku, which is tender chicken breast lightly seared and sliced, which apparently has the texture of like a scallop.
Okay.
And eating raw chicken isn't inherently dangerous because salmonella is only introduced during slaughter, especially in large commercial processing plants. So if you're like slaughtering a chicken on your own little farm.
If you've met your chicken, you're probably fine.
Exactly. But he says it as though that's an Italian thing, when I think he went to a restaurant and it was on the menu.
I thought that maybe it was like in the hotel they were in.
Or that. Yeah.
I did enjoy the moment when the producer has to be like, Tyra, are you ready to stand up?
And then she goes, whoop.
You know what? I enjoy every time Tyra hoiks her boobs up. There's nothing more relatable to me.
Sure.
Right before we get into this, we got just a little bit of narrative where no one thinks that Chris wants this. No one thought Chris's want this the entire episode, maybe the entire cycle. And this is becoming, in my head, based on this narrative, they have removed Anne from the plot. Anne is not part of this show anymore. Anne is barely visible except when she's succeeding. This is Chelsea v. Kayla. This show is Chelsea v. Kayla, and it is funny given the ultimate result of this show.
Also, the makeup has done terrible things to specifically Jane and especially Anne. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it gave Anne a very bad breakout after all that talk about healthy eating being the source of all your skin woes.
And water.
Well, and she didn't put enough water on her hair because she's still got...
Oh my God.
It looks like she got a new makeover. Like, that's how much paint is still left in her hair.
Pulling it back in a ponytail was not the fix.
Who told her? Who is letting her come in with this mostly ponytail, with this huge hank of hair always hanging out at the side?
It's the same person that told her to wear that loose vest.
Why isn't Tyra telling her to pull her hair all the way back or just leave it all the way down? Which she should be doing, honestly. Just leave your hair down, Anne. Jane's doing it.
Because I get that the contestants aren't going to help her because they'll let...
Yeah, why would they?
They want anything to let Anne fail.
No, yeah, sure.
I don't mind Tyra's bandage dress. At least it's something different.
I actually thought the shoes were really cute with it.
I thought the shoes were cute. I didn't understand why she was making her feet like a little girl.
Well,
remember we heard about pigeon-toed Tyra.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We are also told that new prize, you're going to be featured multiple times on Vogue.it.
The contact page, the carousel on the home page, all the hits, the FAQ section.
The biggest interesting thing I found about Kyle Hagler was in an interview with him, he talked a lot about Naomi Campbell. Ooh. And only mentioned Tyra once.
His outfit makes me think that he's going to another event later.
He is a preeminent manager at IMG Models, said as if that were a division of IMG Models. It's funny to have the guest host who now is the guest judge, I should say, who is now the episode title, be someone who was not featured earlier. Because he will not be doing it. But you would think Mr. Versace, Angelo, was that his name?
Oh, I thought you... Well, when you said Mr. Versace, I thought you meant
John Versace.
I thought you were referring to Gianni Versace, who is dead.
Tragically.
So
Tragically.
Bring up that ghost. Make him judge these women.
They don't mention that at all anywhere on the website. They don't mention he was gay. They don't mention he was murdered. It's weird. Kayla is first.
I just thought maybe that's where they'll be featured on the website. It's just
the
a video
in memoriam.
Going, gay, murdered.
Did Kayla get a second makeover?
Yes.
Because
Kayla's hair is no longer that original color. I know.
And her brows have looked like they've been redone as well.
Yeah.
I know, and I do think you were still correct, Alexander, because of the back and forthness of it all.
Yeah.
When it was the roller skating thingy. As Jane's mother would describe it. But I think they did that. And then they realized this looks way better.
Yeah.
And at some point, this just happened. But it's so funny because this makes you forget how bold it used to be. Because now you're like, oh, this is a makeover.
And it's pulled in a ponytail so you don't see the mushroomness of it all.
Yep.
She booked 0 out of 1. Go see.
Tyra knew, right? Before they all came in.
She acts like she didn't.
I know.
Sometimes I don't think she reviews those notes, and then she's looking at the notes in real time, and it's like, uh-oh. This whole cycle, and again, they are trying some new stuff, a little bit of grace, not a lot though, because this whole cycle has been so interesting to watch, just how many new things they've tried, and how awful it makes the show look bad because there's so many things that everyone collectively fails.
Yeah.
The angel photo shoot.
Yep.
Everyone collectively failed. The commercial for the most part. everyone collectively failed. It's a cycle that makes it. At first, you think, "Wow, is this just a bad cast?" No, the show created things that were unwinnable.
Yeah.
Yep. It really gives a strange arc to this judging, because if Tyra had read her notes or acted like she read them, whichever the reality was,
True.
at the this should have come at the beginning to say it is unacceptable if that's your tack to only make it to one go-see, because it was all of them. So to redo it every single time, each one of them comes up anew.
Yeah, the only one that gets an adjustment is Jane, because by then Tyra's read the last note and she's just done. This picture's amazing.
This picture is amazing. And what I most love about it is how much of a statue she looks like, and isn't that he's interacting with the statue, but she isn't interacting with him.
Exactly. Yes. This is what the actual brief was.
Yep.
Because like her pose invites him in, but actually doesn't need him, which I really love.
That's a good way of putting it. Absolutely.
There is a photoshopped quality to the majority of these photos that is not as present in Kayla's also, for whatever reason.
This is also one that really makes use of the location.
That's what I was going to say. They were at Lake Como, considered like one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Maybe it's because this is a location where a statue might actually be, as opposed to several of the other ones we're about to see.
It just, this photo.
She looks stunning, though. That pose is she's the best at posing left, I would say.
Yeah, I'd like to really pinpoint that, because she's very good at posing and she's very good at using her face. Yeah, I think this is like far and away stunning. One of the best photos this season. I'm going to say.
I would agree with that. I can agree with that.
Chelsea is next, and she booked 1 out of 2 and very much did not book Versace.
Yeah.
And why not just go up and punch Chelsea in the face? Like, literally, she heard that and she's like she can't even hear the fact that she won. Like, she knows she won this, and still it feels like a defeat to her.
And I do not like this photo at all.
I really don't like it either. Nigel is the only one who does.
Yeah, because he wanted to fuck Chelsea.
Yeah.
I hate one the boob grab.
Yeah, so much.
It looks green screeny, and I actually think Chelsea looks pretty squat.
Yes.
Yeah, her upper half is towards camera, but her lower half is away to camera. So it gives her weird proportions. Also, I just don't like it from the story perspective, knowing that it is possible with Kayla.
Yeah.
Her having her hand around his head. I'm like, what's the timeline here? Because you don't really look like a statue at all.
No.
And the way it's cut off, every other photo, we see at least some leg. And the place that this photo is cut off is just very strange to me.
If it would have weirdly been fixed in some way, I'm not saying it would have made a good photo. If Chelsea's hand was further out, so you actually saw like that she was posed that way as opposed to she's grabbing his hair. I don't like this grabbiness. Her other hand is also wild. It makes it look like she has 8 fingers on that one hand.
The whole sex storyline for this photo shoot is just silly and wrong. It doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
Chris is next. 0 out of 1 book. We don't mention that she asked a question and that IMG liked that. And there is no way.
I don't believe this is her best photo.
No, we were told. We were told that her beginning photos were very, very good. And this is clearly from the end. And also, what the fuck is the framing on this photo? And why would a statue be there?
Yeah, there's no reason for a statue to be in the drive of this villa.
Also, I feel bad for the male model because he got some plumber's crack going on because of the I was like, this also feels like I bet he saw this and was like, you can only see
2 fingers.
3 of her like her thumb and 2 fingers. Also, I think it's real sus that this is the only picture where you can see feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
As if they were being like, wow. Can you see the pain?
Injury? Because it looks like both of your feet are still there.
And the irony of him not standing on his feet, too. I will say, this is a gorgeous. I wish they were gone because this is a gorgeous picture of this location.
Building.
Yeah.
Yes. But there's just no way that this was Chris's best.
No, absolutely not.
Anne is next. And we are told she booked 1 out of 1. She booked Versace.
Mm-hmm.
Which in some ways makes her the winner. And I truly wonder if she was not late, if she would have won this.
And the thing is, when Nigel despairs of her personality, Tyra says, "You won't book Anne," after telling Anne that she is the only one who booked.
Yeah. Yes.
It just goes so against what the show tells us all the time, because clearly personality does not matter.
The show put itself in a real double bind, where it's like they actually happen to cast someone who the high fashion world is going to embrace.
Mm-hmm.
But they only got one.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, JW, it's almost like she's not in the competition because of the way she looks and what fashion is looking for. She exists in her own outside competition that she already won by virtue of looking the way she does.
Okay, so let me make a quick comparison. There is a new show on Amazon Prime. I have only watched 2 episodes of it, but the important episode is the first one. It's a Lizzo-hosted show to find the next big girl, which are big girls are her names for her dancers, right? In the first episode, they auditioned 13 potential big girls, and they're going to have 10 move into the house. 2 are the worst. They don't go into the house. But then they have this one, unfortunately, do not remember her name. And I'm just like, but she was the best. Like, she was the best all episode. You can't eliminate her. Lizzo's like, you know what? You're not moving into the house. Dun, dun, dun. Because you're going right to rehearsals. You're so good, you don't even need the show. And it breaks the show because they actually found someone who was so good that
they
she
didn't need
needs
a
no
show.
additional training. And they knew they didn't want to have an Anne situation where she was just on the show and you never got to talk to about her because she was just like so clearly amazing already. And that's what happened here.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they thought that Anne wasn't going to be good at modeling, that she would have the look but not know how to do anything. But Anne, as Nigel says, is just a good model. Knows how to pose, knows how to move. So once you combine the skill with a very specific kind of look that this part of the fashion world is looking for, that's just it.
Yeah.
And specifically, we saw at Versace that her height was something that they liked. Because that's been the one thing is like, but is she too tall? And apparently just no, not really.
For high fashion.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
No, Anne didn't need this competition. Anne needed an intro at a European agency.
Yeah.
Yes. Because unfortunately, she was in Texas, probably they're looking at her like commercial and it's like, well, no, that's impossible. But high fashion.
It makes me feel bad both for Anne and for all of the other contestants.
Yeah.
Because then they go on this whole thing where they pretend her photo isn't that good, even though it's good. It's a good photo.
Good. I think there's one thing that would make this photo amazing, and it was actually removing her arm.
That would be cool.
Because it's already almost back all the way anyways. If she had just moved her hand, it would have looked like a broken statue.
That would have been interesting.
And it would have looked stunning in a very like strange arty way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is also one of the male model's best pictures too, because this actually looks like he's putting finishing touches on a statue or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when Nigel says there's no emotion in the photo, I think there's just as much emotion as there is for everybody else's.
Yeah, they're statues.
Yeah. And when the worst thing you can say about someone is that they're too quiet on set, you don't really have a problem.
It's not realistic to be like, well, a model's got to be Tyra. Because I'm sorry, I don't want that on my set all the time. You know what I mean? Like, you want someone that kind of shows that we don't ever talk about the male model's personality.
Mm-hmm.
Every male model we've ever met has been boring as wallpaper. Like,
or, harassy.
Yes, that's the personality that male models get. But like, Simone is a working model still. He didn't seem that talkative and chatty with anyone.
Most of them just come across pretty, what the show would call shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, I'm getting introduced, but I'm just your colleague.
Jane is next.
And Jane, they didn't want to hire you either. There was actually something kind of legit funny about Tyra's like over itness of like, woof. And this is my least favorite photo.
It's my least favorite photo too.
Yeah, you just really can't see either of their faces somehow.
I think it hurts because I don't think they understood what they wanted from this photo shoot when Jane had to go first.
I don't think she is modeling that well either, though.
No,
she's kind of barely doing anything.
I hate this narrative that now you're crying again. That is personality.
Why is personality sadness now?
And they lie to her face to continue this gaslighting of like, she says, well, you're telling me I don't have a personality. And they're like, we're not telling you that. No, that's not what we're saying.
And once again, Nigel acts both annoyed that she cried on set and like he's done her a favor. Like he's shown her that she has the capacity to feel. And isn't she lucky?
This is actually Kyle's best moment. Because Kyle's the only one that talks to Jane like a person. Where he's like, oh, no, we're not saying you don't have a personality. Clearly, you have like a personality. We're just saying it sounds like they're saying. He doesn't say that, but that's like what he's kind of being like. It sounds like what they're saying is blah, blah, blah. Like, I appreciated that the actual manager was like, no, that's not. They're being weird about this, it sounds like.
And so before they are dismissed, they get a talking down.
A little slap on the wrist.
About getting to go-sees, which they were not properly prepared for. Neither the models nor the go-sees.
Imagine if you were one of those two places no one came to and you were like, wasn't this today?
You know, even if you go with the whole, when I was a teenager in Paris and I had to take the metro everywhere kind of narrative, you could turn that into, well, instead of spending money on any kind of luxury, I'm going to save it so I can hire a taxi to take me to the go-sees.
Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Or in the past, like remember Severe Emily or whoever with the Thomas Guide? They gave them maps at the model agency. When they forced them to do this, they prepared them. But this, they were like, fuck off.
Figure it out.
It's hard. It takes a little bit to learn the metro.
I love the idea of someone named Severe Emily.
That was her name, I think.
It was Emily or Emma or something. I just love the idea of the name being like in your phone as Severe Emily. She knows how to get around, but she is not pleasant.
Private panel. Nigel discovers you don't have to be horny for your work colleague. What?
It was all smoke and mirrors.
I'm always horny.
Tyra asks Kyle about Kayla's potential, and he literally says, well, Kayla took a really good photo. So, a lot?
Oh, Kyle says his assessment of everyone. He's like, Kayla, international, and high fashion. Chelsea can do anything. It seemed like the cutoff of except model. And then Chris is commercial, and Jane needs more time. Because what he's seen of Jane isn't very good.
And Andre has had enough. Andre?
First.
Okay.
Andre says of Anne, and this is what makes me think, I'm like, do we have another top model definition situation on our hands?
Ooh.
Does everyone on this judging panel actually think personality means volume?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because Andre says that Anne needs to go somewhere and be taught how to convey a personality, which just means speak louder.
But also, does that not just mean top model? Aren't they supposed to teach them things on this show?
We've told her over and over the same thing again and again, and somehow it's not helpful.
Then Andre Leon Talley can see that Jane is about to go home, and he is so done. He has tried to eliminate Chris for 80 episodes since cycle 14. And he goes, no, I've been saving this zinger. She could be the next Wanda Sykes, but not a high fashion model. And that is it for Chris. You could tell Andre is so, for whatever reason, just hates her. Chris.
Yes.
Hates her.
And then we get a new sepia flashback between Nigel and Jane that is not good for Nigel at all. Because he looks real stern at the end in a way that made me uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Call out order. Kayla is first.
Were y'all shocked that we didn't get a hard cut to Chelsea?
Yes.
Honestly.
Yes, I was.
It probably helped that she won the challenge because I'm surprised she didn't bring the Versace jacket in. I know it's hot in there and they all just passed out, but still. You would think Chelsea, of all people, would be like, I just won't wear anything on the bottom.
I'm just wear the jacket.
Just jacket and panties for Chelsea. I'm going to show you I won.
Chelsea is second.
And they basically tell her it's because she wants it the most.
Oh my God. So I need to say this in prep for the next episode. Kayla, when she is called, is told the photo is stunning and her face is capturing the light and your face and body are great.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea comes up. You're the girl with passion and knowledge, and that is commendable. Anne is third, gets spoken to like a child. So what do we have to work on? And Anne says, personality.
Anne says, do we?
Which leaves Chris and Jane in the bottom. And what she says to these two women is
especially
so rude.
Jane.
Oh, good Lord.
Chris, the judges are feeling that you're less invested.
But she was a girl who took some good ass photos.
Mm-hmm. Jane, whose photos are stronger than Chris, has an issue of personality, and that is now affecting your photos. Also, new story, Jane is a robot or an alien.
Mm-hmm.
Jane stays.
Because you showed us a crack of a real, true person. But all we see is a crack. And a crack is not going to take you to the next week. And the next week. Of the competition.
It is taking her to the next week, though. That's what you just said. And also, the crack was in Chris's photo, and that was his crack.
And that's why he has a great career.
Personality.
And Miss Watch.
Miss Lady. Miss Personality. My favorite part of this is when she says, I talked to Kyle. Like it was an in-depth conversation they had, and not 40 seconds during private panel.
And also, of course, you talked to him. You had panel.
He's a guest judge.
I talked to Kyle. He's a friend of mine.
It almost seems like she's talking about a different Kyle. Her friend Kyle. Her friend Kyle who does stand up said, oh, she can act.
And Mr. Leon Talley says that you deserve your own comedy show.
I love that the top model, and Tyra specifically, has no idea how comedy works. As if, and Chris gets gaslit into it. She's like, I guess I'll just get a sitcom. I'm like, that's not, what are you saying?
Chris also says modeling, acting, and singing?
Yeah.
Well, her update is related to that.
Oh.
But also, as she leaves, Nigel can't even smile. And coming up on America's Next Top Model, it's my turn to get behind the camera for a directorial debut. No!
It was so cute how Chris immediately put her arms out for the hug for Tyra. That was very cute.
Mm-hmm.
There are two interesting things before I get into her update. So, top model math, Chris should have come in fourth place over Jane by like a lot.
Oh,
by
sure.
like a decent amount, which maybe is unsurprising.
Yeah.
Also, I thought when I saw the collage at the end, I thought, ooh, is this our first all-white top four? It's not actually.
Yeah.
Cycle 11.
Mm-hmm.
Totally forgot McKee, Samantha, Leo, and
Marjorie.
Marjorie, of course. I was about to say Alina, but I was like, that can't be right.
Not Alina.
So Chris White, because of course we knew her last name.
We knew her last name from the beginning.
Yep. Now, interestingly enough, there might have actually been something to Chris not necessarily wanting to model at least at first.
Okay.
And maybe that's something the contestants picked up on, and that's why they were like coming for her so hard in their talking heads. Because Chris stated in an interview with teen.com, ever heard of it? That Tara, her sister, wanted to be on the show more than she did, and it was not something she'd considered pursuing before. So I think Tara really wanted this and was like, we'll be sisters. That'll is how we'll get
help.
on the show. Yeah. And this cycle has so many now musicians. Now that's what I call top model music. Because she is a rapper under the name Minx with a capital X. Released her first song, Marry Me, spelled like the name Mary, in 2016, and also released a full EP, Black Dahlia, in October 2016. I've listened to a bunch of her music. Really good. I also didn't find like a very specific source, but we've had some listeners point this out, as well as like the top model, wiki says this, but apparently she identifies as a lesbian. And people were like, she's one of those contestants where it was either never brought up on the show, but then I found it very interesting.
But no, I will actually disagree, because Kayla said we don't have anyone even bi. And
yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Like, it's interesting. So, hey, everyone's young on this show. She probably just didn't know yet if she didn't bring it up, but it's, so we actually... It is interesting, though, for Kayla to be known as, like...
The gayest person on Top Model!
Yeah. Maybe she just said it first, and Chris was like, well, can't do that, sisters? Chris was as pleasant as I remembered. I actually forgot how successful she was in a lot of her photos.
Yes.
Yeah.
The show didn't want you to remember that.
I think also on a different season, she would have done really well. You know, when it wasn't, because I do think Chris is far more commercial, and not in a bad way. I think
that's where she'd make money. Like, she won the commercial challenge.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, I liked her, and I don't understand why Andre Leontelli hated her so much.
That to me is the by far most mysterious thing about Chris's time on the show.
And I would think we were maybe even reading into it, but it was so consistent.
Anytime he could slip in a dig at Chris, he did. Even the ending when Tyra's like, well, Andre thinks you could be an actor or a comedian. That wasn't a compliment, Tyra. That was him saying, not a model.
Not on my Vogue.
I also think it's interesting. Sometimes I wonder about if they know enough about what's coming up next, and knowing what we go over next episode. Part of me wonders if they knew Chris would ace it, at least in the first half of the episode, and were worried about, like, Andre Leontelli was literally like, no, I refuse to let her somehow make it to top 2. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's possible. But I'm very grateful for her, especially just her presence in reaction shots.
Oh, yeah.
So good. And I'm going to say this right now, having already watched the next episode that we're about to record, things get a lot duller without Chris around. The show is lesser, just like when we lost Esther. It is lesser without Chris as well.
And if you think we're better with the three of us, you should rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. We love hearing from you, your hot takes, your iced tea. It's back, y'all. Did I say it in the right order? I think so.
You did.
You can reach out to us at podleadem.com or send us an email at podleadem@gmail.com.
Yeah, we've got a lot of really fun emails recently. We'll have to do another mailbag soon.
You can find me anywhere at Yet Charming.
Come say hi on Instagram at Hannah Jean Ginsburg.
And I'm on Twitter at JW Crump.
And be sure to use the hashtag PodLeadem anytime you do, which you guys have been great at recently. It's appreciated. So for PodLeadem, I have been Alexander Price.
I'll be Hannah Jane Ginsburg.
And I'm JW Crump.
And we'll see you on top.
PodLeadem is not endorsed by America's Next Top Model, Tyra Banks, 10x10 Entertainment, or any of their subsidiaries. It is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. America's Next Top Model and all names, pictures, and audio clips are registered trademarks and copyrights of their respective trademark and copyright holders.